Welcome to lesson week number 12. This week I'm going to teach you how to play the song I Hate California, which can get tricky at times if at first glance, but after I show you just how to break it down, it shouldn't be as tough. The first thing to note about this song is that it's in a different tuning. It's in double drop D. The low E and the high E are both tuned down to D, and I'll show you how I do it, and you can choose how you want. But first things first, I'm going to play you that D, the 4th string D, so you can get that, so you can match mine. Okay, so to tune down, usually what I do for tuning down the low E to a D is I'll play both the 4th and 6th string and just lower the pitch on this one until it's matched perfectly. That sounds good. And then for the high E string, I will play the 3rd fret of the B and tune it down to that. They should be the same, so. So when you play this D chord here, it should ring through just like that. So now you're in your different tuning. Some chords will move around, but for the most part there are no very difficult chords to grab. I'd say the hardest one is this B flat 9 right here. But that's about it. It's not that bad. So the riff you're hearing throughout the song that I usually refer to as the verse figure is something like this. You're going to be playing the 3rd fret of the A string. You're going to be playing the notes C, B, and then you're going to do the 3rd fret of the lowest string. You're going to do a little bend, and there's a little mute somewhere in there. If you listen to the rhythm, you'll hear it. It goes something like this. C, B, A, and then this F. You're going to do a tiny bend, not a full bend, but just enough to pull it so the pitch changes slightly, and then you just pull off of it to get that low D. Yeah, that low D down there. So the riff will sound mostly like this. At the end of that low D, just go ahead and shape for the D chord right there. So that's how that riff is played. The next part of the verse that leads into the chorus or the refrain section, you're going to play an A7 sus4, just like this, into a G over B, and a C add 9, followed by a G, which is just that one finger on the 5th fret of the lowest string. Pretty simple right there. Now if you're listening here, it's almost just like the bass line's walking up and then back down. And that's going to come, that little hammer on, that just comes after that G. Second fret and 2nd fret of the A string here. It's going to hammer on, and then you're going to play the open D string. That whole part will sound just like this. After you play it the second time, you have B flat 9, which is kind of a stretch. That's why I usually don't use my index finger here, because you have a lot of fingers in the 1st fret, and then you have an open, the D is still open, but these are all fretting the 1st fret. You can get kind of bunched up there unless you're prepared for it. Going from here can get tricky, so make sure you practice going between the G and the B flat 9. And then it slides up to C add 9. And then you're back to that riff. So So I'm going to play for you the verse figure that goes into that continuation of the verse that leads into the refrain. It goes just like this. Okay, the chorus is also fairly simple. You're going to have some chords that ring out a little bit more, and you can grab these any way you like. Just look on the side of the chord chart to see what notes are being fretted here. But this is just personal preference for how to grab these easier. I like to bar the 5th fret here, these lowest 3 strings, with my ring finger, and then use my middle finger to grab the 4th fret onto the G string here. And then these 2 lowest strings ring out. In this shape, you're going to use this shape a lot. You're going to move it up to the 7th fret here, back to D. So you have G, you have A, add 9, and then D again. Here's where you get some fun chords. It's going to go back from this G. You move it down a whole step so that it becomes F major 7, add 11. And then one more fret down to make it E7. Then you have C9. And then you have a little figure that you play that I'm going to go over in just a second. But here is the chorus played up to speed after this. Okay, the little figure that you have in the end comes from a little stretch. Use your pinky to grab the 4th fret. And you're going to do a little walk down on the highest string on the high D string for this song. It's going to go. So it's going to alternate between that and the C9. So it's going to go like this. Just listen to the original if you're having trouble hearing the accents. That's the whole song. I'll play for you just a couple times through what linking the 2 of those will sound like, so you can hear what the song is like up to speed. This is a tough one to play and sing because of some of the syncopation, so as usual, take it slow, and with enough practice you'll be able to get it no problem. And just do your best to make sure you're in tune. These 2 Ds. Oops, see, look what happened to me. Anyways, here's going to be the song. natural harmonics on the 7th fret, just like that. So that's I Hate California. A little bit tricky with the different types of chords. It's not a standard Jonathan Coulton song, but you know, it's a really great song, really great melody, and you'll get some really cool sound with chords, you know, like that one, and it'll really hit you. So, hope you enjoyed it, hope you learned something, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.